Okay, but my intro's not here. So this is...
I can edit it. Oh, nice.
What's up, people? Going here, no headphones, no intro music, but it's all good. Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and all around long days.
Yeah, man. It's been a week. It's been a week. I can tell you that. It was quick to get here, but today was long and arduous.
Yeah. Speaking of long and arduous, there's an election still going on. I think. Do we know who our president is?
The fate
yet?
of the free world is at stake.
Comes down to Nevada
and Arizona.
No, Arizona's already blue.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. I think. I don't know if they're officially.
Like two other
Pennsylvania's
states.
getting
as of
Georgia.
Thursday.
Really close.
Like, is Georgia going to pull like a reverse Atlanta Falcons and actually come through blue?
It might.
Well, Biden doesn't need either of those as long as he gets Nevada.
Nah,
straight.
getting Georgia would send a message, especially all the
I
stuff
would
that's-
send a message.
especially all the stuff that's been happening. It would send a huge message. But touchdowns and tangents. Shout out to our affiliates, XY Radio. Obviously, Good News Radio, Good News Sports. If you're listening on the app, congratulations. You know how to follow directions. Wow, did you just? What, sir?
That was funny.
This is a Wendy's.
I laughed.
You laughed.
You make me do that occasionally.
Everybody else was like shocked. I was like, what did you just say? You have Tourette's now? Like, I get you're surrounded by teenagers, but come on, bro. Like, you can't just be randomly yelling out curse words.
Oh, I laughed. I didn't curse.
I thought you yelled out fuck. Like, okay.
You're the only one cursing over here, Kenny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have a dirty mouth.
Sorry, Kenny's mom.
This
She's
show
at it again.
is rated explicit, thanks to you.
I mean, it's the 199th episode. I mean, next week's
Holy
200.
shit, 199. How'd he get
See,
here?
he did it. So now I'm not in it by myself. But yeah, 199 episodes.
Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna need you to play at public transit right above it.
Why?
Because we almost did an episode on the bus. There was definitely a couple times I was on the bus and you're like, are you gonna make it on time? I was like, to the Culver City studio? Probably. You're like, no, seriously. I'm like, yeah, I'll make it.
Just calling in your own caller.
I'm gonna just call you from the parking lot, and then I'll come
We've done
in
that before.
coming through
We've
security.
done that before.
for legit. But yeah, man, 199 episodes. Shout out to Mars Online. Shout out to Sebastian and the homie Mancini. He pretty much got us. He said something on IG like, yeah, Sebastian and Kenny, pretty much everything they said came true. And I'm like, I hate being right about things that are horrible and like awful. I don't enjoy it.
Speaking of which, a few things that we
election
didn't
is kind of insane.
a few things that we didn't get to last week since we had our election special. We breezed over Antonio Brown signing to the Buccaneers in like the fastest 30 seconds. Black Chris Berman over here.
You're welcome.
But yeah, Antonio Brown's with the Buccaneers. They officially made him active this week. He hasn't been active the past 2 weeks. Dez Bryant also signed with the Ravens, so it's something we touched on real quick.
I think he's wearing 88 again.
And
Fun fact, Eric Reed, safety, actually turned down a spot on the practice squad. So he was actually, I think by the Washington, the WTFs, he was actually offered like a spot on the practice squad, and he turned it down. I kind of get why some dudes would turn it down because it's almost seen as a slap in the face. It's like you're giving me less than a veteran's minimum, and you want me to come in and start, but you're putting me on the practice squad. Like that's a lot. That's just you're avoiding a bunch of red tape to get me on. That's kind of trash.
I think it's so that they can clear the quarantine without using the active roster spot. Like,
Well, who knows? I mean, I know the Bears a few weeks ago signed Miller as a running back on practice squad.
Lamar Miller?
Yeah, Lamar Miller, and he hasn't been activated whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if there's
yeah. It depends, case by case.
Unless
basis.
you're Allen Robinson, Nick Foles doesn't really throw to you.
Other
And then
things,
Mitch is injured, so you can't put him in either.
Yes.
other things that happened this week. This past Tuesday was the NFL trade deadline. Where's the
Trash.
Yeah, I didn't even hear much.
Oh, a better thing, because only like one trade happened really. This
is your cue.
This isn't Christian rock.
This is your
music.
cue.
This is like
But I'll get serious for this one.
this theme song thinks
Literally.
like makes me think of like
you're
the
supposed to do your
80s and
fastest
such-
30 seconds again with the trade deadline.
I only needed like 5 seconds. So Avery Williams got traded to the Steelers because Devin Bush tore his ACL.
Why did you do that?
That was like
that
5
it?
seconds. That was like 5 seconds. They traded him off the Jets. He went from an 0-7 team to a 7-0 team.
Crazy.
Talk about winning.
Carlos Dunlap, also a pass rusher, got moved to the Seattle Seahawks from the Cincinnati Bengals bench. 32-year-old. He had a sack and a few pressures, but
Oh shit! Sorry.
How does that not mess these teams up if people are constantly coming in and leaving?
it does. But I mean,
It's a business,
The alternative is to have somebody sorrier play.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You got me there.
And like, if I don't trade you, you're just going to be a malcontent in the locker room the rest of the season.
Speaking
Ryan
of
Kerrigan wanted to get traded.
Ryan Kerrigan was one. He's 32 years old too. I think he has like 1 or 2 sacks, but he's been coming off the bench.
The WTF's all-time sack leader.
And he has like an $11 million contract, and they were like, "Why do we want to pay this?" Like,
He's a veteran leader. He can help Chase Young. I'm pretty sure he's better than Chase Young. Like Chase Young's better than him. Like as a rookie, Chase Young was better than Ryan Kerrigan.
yeah, but they said he's been showing them a lot, like as far
Montez
as
Sweat, by the way, is
prep and stuff like that. Montez Sweat too, both of them.
should have been a Raider, but no, I wouldn't want a 6'6" defensive end who runs a 4.40 40 and plays the run and can rush the passer. No, I wouldn't want that at all. And he's scheme versatile. Nope, don't want that.
Another notable
Give me a
person
lemon.
who didn't get traded was Takk McKinley, former UCLA defensive lineman, first round pick. 5 years ago, something like that? 4 years ago.
Almost. Just
Yeah, he's basically been
been that
rumored
long?
to get traded the past 2 years, and he was like, they turned down a second round pick to trade me last year, and now this year they wanted another outrageous asking price, and we're still getting offers, and still ended up turning it down, even though they've been trying to essentially trade me for 2 years. He went to Twitter, called them clowns, and basically called out the whole situation. So, free Takk. Did I miss anything?
town business.
We all have employers who take more energy than they give. I think that's something that everyone can relate to.
Oh yeah.
It's painful. It feels like a bottomless pit that you're never going to get out of.
And people will say, "Oh, well, he's still getting paid. He should just, shut up and play." But it's like, it's not that simple when you're in that situation, because you're always playing for your next contract. And not just that, but the game can be taken away at any time. You can get hurt. So why do you want to waste your time being somewhere that, one, is losing, and two, doesn't appreciate you? Sucks.
You know who I'm surprised they didn't get traded was AJ Green. Still
Yeah.
a Bengal.
Yeah, and then
That's disheartening. And John
teams
Ross,
always need receivers. Teams always want more receivers.
They should have traded him, man. They've done him dirty, and they're not throwing him the ball.
Will Fuller also didn't get traded. He was rumored to go to the Packers. That didn't end up panning out.
And from the looks of how Aaron Rodgers is curb stomping the San Francisco 49ers, I guess he didn't need another receiver after all, because Devontae Adams
Who would
is-
have thought
is
the
feasting.
49ers would be the worst team in the NFC West?
I think I said it. Shout out to AJ.
Actually, you might have said that, honestly.
Definitely said it.
I think
Statistically, Super Bowl losers never make the playoffs the following year. And once Magabosa tore his ACL, and then like Ziggy Ansah got hurt, replacing somebody who got hurt, who replaced somebody else who got hurt. Like, fam, if I'm not here next week, I'm on the Niners practice squad, and I'll probably be back the next week because I'm hurt.
And
The
Go ahead,
Packers are
Eric.
killing the 49ers right now.
Yeah, I mean, you think looking at that game at the beginning of the season, that's one that's like, oh, great, that's going to be a cool Thursday night football game. Turns out it's just another Thursday night football game.
And it's one of those games where both teams are like have historic fan bases and they don't play that often except for, like the playoffs. So there's like energy around it. You want to be excited for it, but
it's just not there. It's a one-sided. It's just like watching if you walked in on Ving Rhames getting raped in, what was it, Pulp Fiction? Nobody remembers that scene?
I do remember
the Gimp,
that.
the Gimp
it's
scene?
awful, and that's now back in my mind, but thank you.
I'm like, why are we imagining this?
So, yeah, imagine the Niners or the Gimp. That's pretty much what's happening right now.
And probably the best deal of the deadline, I think, was the Tennessee Titans getting Desmond King for a half-open bag of Skittles
I thought that was a fake deal.
And $1,000 candy bar from last year that was half open, half smashed.
$100,000, you mean?
Yeah, $100,000. Yep.
They're always too salty, but I always like the paydays better.
Nah,
The paydays
I like
are not
$100,000.
salty.
But yeah, essentially, I read the Bleacher Report article on it, which was pretty bad. But it was like, yeah, the Chargers secondary is so versatile that Desmond King just found his way out. I'm like, bro, you found a starting hybrid nickel cornerback and
Punt
safety
returner.
punt returner who literally has returns for touchdowns and INTs for touchdowns, and you traded him for a 6th-round pick.
And why did you trade him when you clearly have injuries on your defense, which is kind of bad? And they lost on they literally lost a last-second game-winning touchdown with no time left last week to the Denver Broncos when they were winning the game.
I think the
They literally
reason why they
bullied.
trade him, and I'm not sure, I'm checking this right now, but I think his deal's up. So I think they didn't want to pay him next year.
A 6th-round pick to a team that
He's a
you're
5th-round
probably
pick in 2017. He's in the final year of a 4-year, $2 million contract. Yeah, so he's
the
set for a big
Titans
race.
are probably going to see the Chargers in the playoffs if the Chargers make the playoffs.
Chargers aren't going to make the playoffs.
I said hypothetically.
They're done.
I said hypothetically.
They're done.
Are
You never
Cowboys
know.
done?
They
It's-
keep losing games. That's on God. That
The-
hurts. That works the worse than being a Bears fan.
I think the wild
Yeah.
card right now is pretty much the AFC North.
Cleveland?
So Cleveland,
When did you ever think you would
Baltimore.
say those words? Cleveland is a lock to get in as a wild card team.
I don't think they're a lock right now because they lost to the Raiders.
But the Raiders,
They have one more win than the Raiders. The Browns are 5-3 and the Raiders are 4-3. But now the Raiders beat them head to head. So I think it's right now in the wild card. It's hold on, let me double check.
Steelers,
But yeah, Steelers, Titans at the top,
Bills?
Bills.
Bills.
Bills fell a little bit, but
Steelers undefeated.
They're still first in their division, though.
yeah. That's the thing. So
The
Bills
Dolphins are in it, 4-3.
barely. But
After raping the Rams, I'm sorry, that was bad.
Pain.
Was that this week?
Yeah, last
Pain.
week. It was last week. That
shout out
was-
to 3 Days Grace. What a
The
great
Colts,
song.
the Colts
so
are in
they
it.
played the Bears and then they played the Dolphins.
They played the Dolphins. They got hurt by the Dolphins. Yeah,
Yeah.
Where did the Dolphin touch you? Everywhere.
everywhere.
Oh,
Jared Goff.
The Dolphin
remember-
rammed you.
Jared Goff.
I told you Dolphins are rapists.
Yeah, I remember posting something and I was like, oh, that was painful to watch.
And then it was like more pain.
30 seconds later, the same thing happened. They got like, what,
2 pick sixes.
Oh, man, yeah. That
So
was-
right now, as is, I think the Ravens, Browns, and Colts are the 3 wild card teams, and the Raiders and Dolphins are a game out. But we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, so that's a weird playoff field.
Yeah, that
No New
that
England.
one extra game is actually really cool. I think. I think it means more football, and then only one team gets a bye, so you don't have 4 teams saying, "Oh, well, we might lose because we have a week off." Now it's only 2 teams. So
Like
So
the Jets.
Pittsburgh's really not going to have a reason to play towards the end of the season.
You realize the Jets and the Patriots play, I think, Monday or Thursday night next week?
That's this
I
Wednesday.
read-
it's all right. An election will still be going on by that time.
Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
seriously.
I read a stat that both Sam Darnold and Cam Newton hadn't thrown a touchdown pass in September. I mean, Cam did miss a couple games, COVID, but
Yeah.
still, it's a lot.
So now
Yeah,
we know what them
that's
in Green
just
Day.
bad for the Jets. I mean, I feel bad for that kid.
Don't feel bad for Sam Darnold, but don't feel
Belichick
bad.